Time now for the Morning Rush. We do start with a big talker for you. It's on to sentencing for the first of 3 suspects in the horrific murder of 10-year-old Victoria Martens. Jessica Kelley could face up to 50 years in prison. She may only serve 20, though, after a judge accepted her latest plea deal. It's a deal that prosecutors hope to bank on as they shift their focus to the only male suspect charged, Fabian Gonzalez. They also hope to identify a 4th suspect soon. Kelley pled no contest to 6 charges, including child abuse resulting in death, for her role in Victoria's murder in 2016. Kristen.
More sunshine to the north, but cloud cover continues out across southern New Mexico today. Not likely to see any rain this afternoon, but heading into tomorrow with more moisture south of I-40. Some spot showers likely in our southern counties both Wednesday and Thursday afternoon. David?
Now on to Washington, D.C. this morning, where this evening President Trump will make a televised appeal to the public about his key demand of $5+ billion for a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. Democratic leaders have denounced the speech as a political stunt. President Trump will likely address the partial shutdown, the border crisis, and the deadline for federal workers' paychecks. The president will also be visiting the southern border on Thursday as he tries to make his case for the border wall.
Here to new news for you this morning. Republican Congressional District 2 candidate Yvette Harrell says she will not contest her loss to Democrat Xochitl Torres-Small. Under state law, Harrell faced a Monday deadline to file a court challenge contesting the race. You might remember after claims of irregularities by Harrell, a state judge allowed her campaign to inspect the absentee ballots. Harrell says on Facebook she never intended to contest the election and she'll release her findings soon.
Former state auditor Wayne Johnson is now being considered for the position of Torrance County manager. Johnson's name appears on the Torrance County Commission's agenda as contract for Wayne Johnson related to county manager. Johnson was appointed by state auditor by then Governor Susana Martinez after now Mayor Tim Keller was elected as mayor of Albuquerque. Now he ran for re-election but lost his bid for auditor to Democrat Brian Colon.
On to new news for you this morning. 5 Santa Fe police officers reportedly fired in 2018. The city is not saying who or why. That's according to the Albuquerque Journal, who reports that the Santa Fe Police Department has now 26 vacancy. Mayor Ellen Weber tells the Journal the vacancies were due to officers retiring, leaving for other jobs, and through termination. The Journal also reports the city spokesperson would not identify the officers or reveal the reason behind their firings.
We could soon find out if the man charged in the death of his 1-year-old will stay behind bars until trial. Police say that David Zuber and the girl's mother, Monique Romero, are accused of leaving 1-year-old Anastasia and her sister alone in the bathtub where Anastasia drowned. Zuber allegedly buried the girl's body in the backyard of a friend's home. He was in court yesterday afternoon, where the state filed a motion to keep him locked up until trial.
2 former San Juan College instructors expected in court next week after being arrested, both accused of fraud and embezzlement. The San Juan County Sheriff's Office says 64-year-old Daniel Uhl and 49-year-old Stephen Gerenser stole $200,000 from the School of Energy. Investigators say the 2 held drilling classes at other colleges without anyone knowing about it. The men allegedly billed students for the classes, gave them certificates from San Juan College, then pocketed the cash. Kristen.
Metro Threat Index down to a 2 for today. No major concerns this afternoon. It's just going to be those cold morning temperatures that we have below freezing at this hour.
Developing news, a California lawyer will now lead the State Department charged with protecting New Mexico's kids. Brian Blaylock is the new CYFD secretary appointee. This is under Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham. Now, the new secretary was proposed secretary was recently living in the San Francisco Bay Area, working for an anti-poverty nonprofit agency. Now, he helped launch a multi-million-dollar homeless youth help initiative, possibly the first thing on his list, filling hundreds of vacant positions.
The national TV show set to showcase the harrowing moments of a deadly police shooting here in Albuquerque.
They're shooting.
It's on Investigation Discovery's hit series Body Cam. You might remember back in 2013, Christopher Chase opened fire on an APD officer, stole a police car, then took them on a 14-mile chase throughout the city. He ended up shooting 3 officers and a deputy that day before police ultimately shot and killed him. The episode set to air tonight on ID at 8 p.m. Kristen.
Time now for a check on your Tuesday morning commute. Not seeing any major accidents or slowdowns on the map right now. Everything looks clear there. We've also got a live look at the big guys. Smooth sailing at this hour, but of course we'll keep eyes on this for you throughout the morning.
Take a look at this snowman right here, or rather Batman, built by a New Mexico dad. It's getting a lot of attention online this morning with more than 500 shares on Facebook alone. Alan Wolford built this 8-foot-tall Batman in his front yard in Bloomfield after last week's storms, and he said that it took him about 3 hours to build it as his kids and uncle brought him big buckets of snow. Wolford says that he had to pull out ladders once the creation grew past 5 feet.
Wow, 8 foot tall. That's amazing. Good job, Dad.
Hands must be cold. Yeah.
Taking you back 32 years ago on this day in 1987, we had a significant winter storm that dropped a significant amount of snow over parts of New Mexico. We picked up over 1.5 feet out there in Red River, 7.4 in Eagle Nest, and even 6.7 in Gascon. So that was, again, more than 30 years ago on this day. No rain or snow expected within state lines today. Let's take you now to the 5 facts.
We start with number 5 here. Meow Wolf now wants to help federal employees in the midst of the partial government shutdown. The interactive exhibit is offering them free admission until the shutdown is over. Meow Wolf is encouraging other businesses in New Mexico to help them out as well because they're not working at this time. Most of them are not being paid. If you are a federal employee, all you have to do is show your work ID or your badge from your agency to get in for free.
At number 4, we could soon find out if the man charged in the death of his 1-year-old will stay behind bars until trial. Police say that David Zuber and the girl's mother, Monique Romero, are accused of leaving 1-year-old Anastasia and her sister alone in the bathtub where Anastasia drowned. Zuber allegedly buried the girl's body in the backyard of a friend's home. He was in court yesterday afternoon where the state filed a motion to keep him locked up until trial. Meanwhile, the couple's 2 other children have been placed in CYFD custody.
At number 3, looking at warmer conditions out west today, cooler in the east, some cloud cover to the south, but no rain just yet. That will come in tomorrow. Some rain chances both Wednesday and Thursday over southern New Mexico. And at this point, still looking at the potential for a bigger storm late week into the weekend.
Number 2 now, major West Side Road is back open this morning after a deadly crash. Today we expect to learn more details from police about what happened here. Here's what we know so far though. APD says 3 cars crashed near Coors and Montaño. This sent 1 woman to the hospital. That's where she later died. Again, the stretch of Coors was closed overnight as police investigated. As soon as there are more details, I'll pass them on to you right here on KRQE News 13.
And at number 1, it is on to the sentencing phase now for the first of the 3 suspects in the heartbreaking murder of 10-year-old Victoria Martens. Jessica Kelley could face up to 50 years in prison after a judge accepted her latest plea deal. That deal could be critical for how the case now moves forward. Prosecutors say they will now focus on the only male suspect charged, that is Fabian Gonzalez. They also hope to identify a 4th suspect soon, and they're banking on Kelley to help out. Kelley pled no contest to 6 charges, including child abuse resulting in death and tampering for her role in Victoria's murder back in 2016. While Kelley faces up to 50 years in prison, she could be out in 20 for a good time served.